Hey everyone, I wanted to go over the new and exciting and I guess slightly controversial news that we have for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak on both the Nintendo Switch and on PC. And that's the fact that the official Monster Hunter Twitter account in both North America, Japan, and Asia have gone ahead and confirmed that the brand new developer challenge weapon that will be used by the developers is none other than the Hunting Horn. Remember, just a few weeks back, we went over the fact that they put up a poll where players had a choice to be able to go ahead and vote on what weapon developers would have to essentially play and use in one of the upcoming event quests. If you watch one of my most recent videos, I went over all the 13 free title update number 3 event quests, all 13 quests that we're going to be able to play, and one of them happens to be a Master Rank 6 dual threat quest called Moonlit Muscles. This one is going to be putting you up against a Nargacuga and a Violet Mitsune at Forlorn Arena with some egg rewards and melding puddings, which are going to be really important if you're continuing to farm charms. So what eventually the developers said was that whichever weapon ended up being voted the most, the developers will end up playing and using said weapon in the upcoming event quest, and of course, it will be releasing at some point in early January. So players took to social media and in great bunches, it seems like, voted, at the very least in North America, that the Great Sword ended up winning here in North America. It was the most popular voted weapon by 32.6%, followed by Switch Axe by 31.2%, Hunting Horn was third at 27%, and Heavy Bowgun was last at 9.2%. However, in Asia, there were 38,000 votes, and Hunting Horn won relatively well, 31%. Followed soon after by the Great Sword, then the Switch Axe, and lastly, once again, the Heavy Bowgun. And not to be left out, the Capcom Asia Twitter account also had the same vote, but there was only 400 or so votes there, and the Hunting Horn was the major winner there. So in both Japan and in Asia, the Hunting Horn won. However, here in North America, the Great Sword was the main winner. With that said though, when the poll was originally placed, they did specifically say that they would tally all the scores together to provide one official video, one unilateral video across the board. They weren't going to be making different ones for different user votes, presumably from different areas. So while the North American audience may have chosen the Great Sword to be the weapon that the developers get to use, ultimately the Hunting Horn, with more players voting here in Asia and Japan, ultimately ended up making it so the Hunting Horn is the weapon that the developers will be using for this upcoming developer challenge. Now, the interesting thing of all of this is, and ultimately the reason why these votes seem to matter, is that the last 2 times that they put up developer challenges where they make the developers play and use a specific weapon, it has resulted in some sort of weapon balances for that weapon. Basically, the more people vote for a weapon to be used, the more balanced changes you can expect for that winner weapon, since it forces the developers to check out to see if that weapon is either playing up to par or not necessarily up to par. And while, here in North America, players may have wanted the Great Sword to be able to get a closer look at, maybe some sort of balance changes or something like that, a lot of people were, of course, voting for the Switch Axe second place, the Hunting Horn ended up being the winner overall. So what we can expect now is that first and foremost, the Gunlands last patch, it ended up getting the first update that we saw. It was the winner for one of these developer challenges, and it ended up being the first weapon that ended up getting some sort of balance changes. Insect Glaive is the one that we're expecting to see get some love next time around as we make our way into the 4th free title update, and soon after that we should be able to see the Hunting Horn now, not the Great Sword, actually end up being the weapon that developers will be using for this challenge, and more importantly, tweaking in one way or another. We can't necessarily know how they're going to tweak it or what changes we can expect, but based on previous precedent, if you want to look at it that way, what we have seen is that augmented options and augmented changes are the best way that they are using now to be able to kind of tweak the weapon around. That's what they did to gun lances. That's what we have seen being referenced to insect glaives, and presumably Hunting Horn is going to get that. A lot of people have suggested maybe provide augmented options so you can have a customized song added in. You can slot in a customized songs or change in, you can have a customized setup specifically for each song on a weapon. We don't necessarily know how powerful or overpowered that would end up being. you know, so you could just unilaterally have the best setup no matter what circumstances, instead of having to switch hunting horns around. But we don't necessarily know. Maybe a custom song slot in through Curious Crafting would probably be the best way to go about it. Maybe that's something that I've seen people suggest. We don't necessarily know. But what we do know is that hunting horn is the next weapon that is going to be showcased in January for this event quest versus a Lucent Nargacuga and a Violent Mitsuzune at the Forlorn Arena. Once again, this is an event dual threat quest that will be appearing at some point in January called Moonlit Muscles. And soon after, of course, once the 4th free title update goes live, we can expect some Insect Glaive buffs and, of course, now the hunting horn. But that's about all the information that I have for you guys today. If you are brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.